Now let's talk about a clinical case that highlights lithium treatment in pregnancy. Ms. A is a 33-year-old female, G1P0, with a history of bipolar I disorder, who had been taking lithium for several years after several manic episodes resulted in hospitalization. She became pregnant unexpectedly and self-discontinued her lithium abruptly when she found out, around 12 weeks gestational age. She is referred to you by her PCP at 20 weeks pregnant to discuss whether lithium is safe in pregnancy, and she is not sure if she wants to breastfeed. So let's talk now about how you would conceptualize a risk versus risk formulation for a discussion. The first risk we'll talk about is the risk of her mood decompensation. There's an 85.5% recurrence rate of a mood episode in pregnancy after discontinuing mood stabilizers for bipolar disorder. Furthermore, discontinuing abruptly increases that risk. There's a 50% likelihood of recurrence within 2 weeks when discontinuing abruptly. On average, 40% of pregnancy ends up being spent in an illness episode when women discontinue their mood stabilizers. And in the small minority that are still well at delivery, 70% then have a recurrence early postpartum. So it's very, very likely that a recurrence will occur if not medicated. And it's important to discuss those risks with patients candidly. The next risk we'll talk about is the risk of fetal cardiovascular malformations when fetuses are exposed to lithium. The absolute risk of fetal cardiovascular malformations is still quite low, about 2 in 100 infants exposed to lithium in utero, compared to 1 in 100 if not exposed. The risk, or rather the increase in risk, is also dose-related and is only significantly higher when the lithium dose is more than 900 milligrams per day. Importantly, the increase in risk is also most relevant in the first trimester of pregnancy, while the fetus's heart is still developing. When cardiac defects do occur during fetal development, it's in the first couple of months after conception. For those who are already pregnant, the window of potential concern has often already passed by the time they're seen in psychiatric clinic. In this case, this patient is now at 20 weeks gestational age, well outside that window. It's important to discuss absolute risk in these cases. There is an increased risk, but not necessarily as much as one might think, and is a dose-related increase in that risk. Ebstein's anomaly, or atrialization of the right ventricle, is classically associated with lithium use during pregnancy, and you see that often come up on exams, but in reality, it's not an especially common outcome. Now let's talk about bipolar disorder and breastfeeding in this patient. It's important to discuss this patient's breastfeeding plans because lactation can be more complex where bipolar disorder and lithium is involved. Postpartum is a high-risk time for manic episodes and postpartum psychosis, in part because sleep is highly disrupted. It is recommended to protect a block of sleep. So if they want to breastfeed, thinking about how to incorporate breastfeeding while also protecting sleep is an important discussion. Serum lithium levels in nursing infants are approximately 25% of maternal levels, which is higher than some other medications, including antidepressants, which we mentioned earlier, are typically less than 10%. Unlike many other medications, the infant has to be monitored when the mom is taking lithium and breastfeeding, so it would be important to coordinate with a supportive pediatrician. In general, the infant would need some neonatal monitoring of TSH, BUN, creatinine, and lithium level. The exact frequency and timing depends on what study you go by, but one recommendation is to monitor TSH, BUN, creatinine, and lithium level immediately postpartum, about 4 to 6 weeks of age, and then every 8 to 12 weeks. Lithium monotherapy in healthy full-term infants aren't absolute requirements, but additional medications the mom or infant is receiving may increase the risk of interactions that lead to lithium toxicity. Parents need to be instructed in how to monitor for signs of lithium toxicity in the infant, which may happen in the infant if they become dehydrated or ill. To wrap up, here are some key points for this section. While lithium use in pregnancy is associated with an increased risk of fetal cardiac malformations, the absolute risk remains low and is influenced by timing and dosage. Recurrence of a bipolar disorder mood episode is highly likely if lithium is discontinued. Lithium use postpartum is not a contraindication to breastfeeding, but requires additional monitoring.